Hello there guys, what is going on? Son of Chelsea back here again for another video, and today, as you can see by the title, I'm going to be going through Frank Lampard's appointment, the pros and cons of it. Before we get into the video, one thing, I want to say thank you to all my new subscribers who have come onto the channel. Thanks to my mate Eunice, who shouted me out in one of his videos, and welcome to the channel. Hope you guys enjoy the content. And question of the day for you guys: your opinions on Lampard's imminent appointment. What do you think of it? Do you think the pros and cons, your fears, your doubts, your excitement level towards it? Let me know all of that in the comments below. But opinions on it from me. Sort of want to go through some of my pros and cons of it. I'll firstly go over the pros, the obvious pros, and then I'll go into the cons, and then we'll sort of wrap it up from there. Just before that as well, Petr Cech has officially been announced as the technical and performance advisor by the club. Quite a new role. I haven't heard of that title before, but when you actually delve into the club statement, it becomes pretty apparent what that role entails, and it's pretty much what all of us expected regarding Cech. But moving on from that and sort of connecting that with when Lampard comes in, I think the first pro to talk about is, of course, him being a club legend. That's a big thing. The connection he will have to all of us as fans, the amazing memories he has been a part of, has been responsible for down the years. You can go through a whole litany of them. Him having that connection is so important with the fans, and we saw with Sarri last season, unfortunately that connection wasn't there. It could have happened over time, but it just looked like a lot of fans were already broken with Sarri, and that damage wasn't going to be repaired anytime soon. So with Lampard, that connection and positivity and support surrounding him will be there from day one, and that nostalgia, and you know, you can already get goosebumps thinking about his return to Stamford Bridge, that first game at home to Leicester. It brings me back to memories when Jose came back against Hull, and the reception he got there, and I think Lampard's reception will be similar when he emerges from the tunnel to walk into the dugout for the first time at Stamford Bridge. That's really positive, as well as having the connection and feeling of the club. I also think him being a young manager is quite important as well. It's going to be interesting to see how he evolves at Chelsea and what he brings to Chelsea. The young players he will hopefully give time to. That's a lot of the excitement around Lampard, is he will probably give youth a chance, probably more than any other Chelsea manager. And luckily, Sarri at the end of his tenure was starting to open a door for Hudson-Odoi and Loftus-Cheek. Hopefully with Lampard, because of the work he's done at Derby with the likes of Fikayo Tomori, Mason Mount, we've also got the likes of Reece James coming back as well. All of these players, how will he fit into his system? How will he work them in? Will he have an emphasis on youth? Will he look at it and go, Hazard's left, I want to start bringing through a new generation of players? As Chelsea fans, we hope that, and hopefully the transfer ban as well on top of that will force sort of the club's hand, and also Lampard, to play the youth and really start to bring through a new era and start to bring through a new generation of Chelsea players. So I think that's the other thing as well. Next thing to speak about is his tactics and his adaptability. One thing that excited me when I was watching Statman Dave's video, so go and check that out as well, about his tactics. He is quite versatile and he does adapt. He isn't stuck and wedded to one philosophy and one style of formation. He's still a young manager, so he's still adapting and learning and really evolving his style. And that's exciting. At the start of the season with Derby, he had a certain style of philosophy. He wanted to play out from the back and wanted to try one thing. But then when he realised with the players he had, that wasn't going to work, so he evolved it again. And that excites me, that Lampard will think on his feet, will change with the squad he has, and I think that will impress and excite a lot of Chelsea fans as well. Another thing to point out as well on top of all of this is the people he's bringing back. We've got Jody Morris, who of course not only knows Chelsea so well, has worked at Chelsea, he's played for Chelsea, but also done such amazing work with the young players, and some of the young players who he's now coached at Derby he knows well, and other players that are coming back and are playing at Chelsea. I think that's majorly important, having someone who knows those players, who knows their strengths and knows what they can do with a system, has coached some of them. I think naturally that relationship is going to be there, and I think will help and will give a lot of Chelsea's young players a boost of optimism that they can break into the Chelsea side, with Jody Morris really right up there now, and not just being a youth coach but being right up close to the manager and being right at the top of coaching within the club. I think is really key. And as well, the coaches that have been rumoured to be coming back: Didier Drogba as a striker coach, Claude Makelele. We know Petr Cech, as I've already said, is coming back. But also just, other people that have been linked back, people within the youth setup being promoted to the first team. This is all the thing we've been talking about, a connection with the club, and it really does feel like a band getting back together and nostalgia that will bring excitement to the club, even with the challenges of next season. So my hope is Lampard finally may be the manager to bring through this new generation and really turn a new page for Chelsea. Maybe look at the transfer ban not as doom and gloom, but as a great opportunity to try something new and to lead the club into a new direction. Going to some of the cons that I have to just express is, of course, only 1 year in management. It's at Championship level. It's with Derby. He did make mistakes and he was evolving, and I feel like a lot of these points about Lampard, I feel like it's a 60-40 split maybe between Lampard and his ability and still learning and adapting as a manager, and Chelsea and the culture within Chelsea. I think I spoke about this a bit when I was talking about Sarri's departure. My big fear with Lampard, and it's as I say, some of it's on him and some of it's on the club, maybe more on the club, is patience. I hear a lot of stuff about Lampard and he's going to be given patience from Chelsea fans. I have to see that myself. I'm sorry, I wish I could be more optimistic, but considering the way people harshly turned against Sarri after results went sour, the question I will ask you guys, if Lampard was to have comparatively bad defeats to Bournemouth and Manchester City, if he was to go through the same winter period, if the same frustrations that we had with Sarri were to present themselves again, would everything be rosy? Would everyone be behind Lampard? I hope that, of course they would. Why wouldn't they? Lampard, he is a Chelsea icon. He's Chelsea's greatest ever player. But there is a certain expectation that comes with being Chelsea manager. There is a certain expectation with being Chelsea. The culture within Chelsea, pretty simply, is ruthless winning. It's about attaining silverware. It's about instant results. It's about instant gratification. My worry is that culture may overawe Lampard. And I've seen it with countless managers at Chelsea, managers who've had way more experience than Lampard, who have won major titles, who've come to Chelsea, who have almost been broken down by that system. And my worry is that may clash with Lampard. And the transfer ban, the club structure, my hope is that with Cech and other people that I've discussed coming in, that structure can start to be fixed a bit more. But I still feel like there needs to be some sort of revolution at Chelsea. I know it sounds very strong, and this is the problem once again of what fan expectation is. Will fans give Lampard time? If Lampard comes in and says, I'm going to start playing young players, we're going to start betting in the youth, and we're really going to try and evolve this team. Hazard's gone, so we need to find a new philosophy. We've got this transfer ban. We need to bring some new players in. So it's going to mean potentially a few lean years, potentially growing pains, of course. Will fans accept that? That's my fear, and also the pressure not only inside the club but outside the club as well. Just because Lampard's manager and the great story that will come with it in the press, who've mostly been positive and supportive of Lampard. Derby, Chelsea, it's a different ball game. It completely is. It's a completely different level, and with Champions League football coming back as well, there's a lot of these things, and the unpredictability of Chelsea is what worries me with Lampard as well. Player fallouts, week in, week out, things changing so quickly, the club hierarchy, the worry about the new stadium, the worry about Roman not being interested in Chelsea. These are all things that are just so many variables at Chelsea. And sure, absolutely, I can understand people who've come back at me and say any manager is a risk. Of course, there was a reason why I wanted him to be kept as far away from Chelsea as possible until I felt like there was a bit more stability around the club, because he is going to be a manager that's going to need time. And it just sounds ridiculous to say that with a manager, considering the last manager we had has only just gone out the door, only been there 9 months. The position of Chelsea manager is as frequent as the next London tube train. And until that changes, I still will have those fears. And until I'm proven wrong about Lampard being given patience by fans, as I say, those fears will be there. But I have to be honest, there is that excitement within me. There is those goosebumps about his first game at Chelsea. And we've got to be optimistic. We've got to back the manager. We've got to support Lampard's vision. And the great thing is, a lot of people who even were really invested in Sarri and wanted to see him succeed have backed Lampard. And that's cool. And I think that's a great sign. And I feel like that's what's got to happen with the club. And really, as I spoke about in my last video, unite the fan base. And I feel like that's what this will do. It's going to be unpredictable. I think there's going to be challenges and bumps along the road. But my real hope is that Lampard is given the time, the right time, to make it work at Chelsea. Because if it does work, how magical could it be? Him lifting silverware at Chelsea, you know, maybe I'm thinking too far down the road at this point, but I think like to a lot of Chelsea fans, that is the dream. But I feel like as fans, it's our responsibility to back him and support his vision and understand the limitations of this squad and understand what he's going to face as Chelsea manager. So that is my opinions on Lampard, the pros and cons. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your guys' opinions in the comments below. We'll continue the discussion. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at Son of Chelsea and continue to debate these things on a frequent basis. Also, just a quick thing, Chelsea Echo continue to write articles for them as well, so you can check out some of my opinions on different things in more in-depth analysis on there. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you again.